Almost there. One more setting. And one more piece of the unique is operational.
One down, 1 million to go. Speaking of which, boss, I found exactly none of the parts you wanted. A whole day at the junk pile, and all I turn up are a locker and some stupid conduits. Maybe next time. Boss, are you sure you got those settings right?
That came from down in engineering. Let's go. There's no time for that. There's no time for that. That's the way to engineering. That's the way to engineering.
Boss?
Crispin, get behind me. Who are you and what do you want?
Power.
I think he wants the power core, boss.
Stop right there. This ship belongs to me.
Forfeit. Enemy. Plunder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property.
Get away from the power core.
Forfeit.
Boss? Boss? Horatio? Come on, Horatio, wake up!
Oh.
Whew, you're okay.
What happened?
Well, Big Ugly threw you out of the ship. And then he said plunder, again. And then he left with our power core.
Basad.
Yep,
How much charge have you got?
10%. You?
I'll be fine. We just need to get the emergency generator up and running.
Or we could just go to Metropole, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropole is trouble. But if you want to go, you've got free will and a maglev unit.
With that guilt subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far. So I suggest we get the generator working.
You and your projects.
Man built us to build, Crispin. Now, come on.
Now, I'm not a fancy engineer like you, boss, but it seems like the Unique isn't gonna fly without its tail on.
It's one of the Unique's turbines.
The big engine that couldn't.
I must have dropped my data pouch when I was thrown out of the Unique. Assad, its memory got wiped. Easy enough to have the good old junk pile's coordinates back in, though. The data pouch is registered to me.
You know, boss, if you're ever wondering what I would do, feel free to just ask.
I'll keep that in mind.
Is that a gumball machine?
No, it's a robot's head.
Ah, I wanted a gumball. I wanted a gumball.
A broken robot I dragged out of the junk pile. I salvaged the sarcasm coprocessor from it for Crispin.
Yeah, it works great.
I can't move this without some kind of crane, which I certainly don't have time to build now. It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit. some very sticky grease. It's not going to do anything until the generator's fixed. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together.
Now who's the procrastinator?
Crispin, when I told you to find a new spark plug, did you just shove my conductive putty into the old one?
Maybe.
No wonder the generator isn't working. At least the putty is still good. The generator is missing a spark plug. It's the Unique's tag. Without it, I'd have never known the ship's name.
Apparently, building a giant airship doesn't require proper spelling.
Apparently not. It's the Unique's tag. A sturdy cable. It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit. I'll need at least 5 pieces to be able to build a conduit long enough to run the generator to the Unique. A small lump of electrically conductive putty. A good length of heavy-duty cable designed for carrying data. The hatch is unresponsive. An old captain's chair. I moved it here from navigation. This is no time for sitting around. A large observational telescope. Without power from the ship, the telescope won't work.
Bad timing with those repairs, huh, boss?
It's too dark to see the ladder rungs. What was I thinking, leaving all my lanterns up there? What was I thinking? There's no way I can reach that. Could you grab that lantern?
Sure thing, boss.
You know, I always wanted to be able to fly. That's why I built you with a maglev unit.
Not so that you could store tools on hard-to-reach ledges.
Well, that too. A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. It's the gospel of man.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough.
So that's where you keep it.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
For cutting and welding, it can't be beat. This is no time for a nap.
I still don't see why I don't get a bed.
Because you have a flat bottom to rest on.
Boss, were you checking out my bottom? That piece of sheet metal really ties the room together, boss.
I can't pick that up. There's no reason to cut that, or burn it, or weld it. The controls for this hatch are unresponsive. I'm trying to fix the Unique, not destroy it. The control pad for the deck access ladder. Good thing there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here? We could have been stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet. How do you think a train wound up out here, boss?
Maybe they brought it here by boat.
Very funny. If that red light went off, I bet the train would start going.
Crispin, sometimes I think you're trying to get me to waste time.
Who, me?
I can't see anything to do with it. It's closed. It's locked tight. It's a reinforced steel. It's a reinforced... Looks like some kind of lockbox. It's 3 pieces of gordium conduit. Unfortunately, one of them is completely corroded and worthless. I'll need at least 5 pieces to be able to build a conduit long enough to run the generator to the unique. It's just scrap.
Boss, just think of all the brothers and sisters you could make for me from all that junk.
One of you is more than enough. Looks like some kind of lockbox. It's locked tight. Let's see if this works.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it. I guess it was actually some kind of machine. I'm pretty sure it was already dead, though. There's a piece of gordium conduit way back there. I can't reach the conduit. It's a cable, not a lasso. Looks like an old P2, or is it a P3? Endless junk. It's just scrap. I picked it clean years ago. Crispin, can you go in there and get that piece of conduit?
I suppose. That would have been a lot easier with hands, boss.
Five segments of gordium conduit. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together. It won't work until they're locked together. Time for a little welding.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
A good length of fused conduit. The generator is missing a spark plug.
I thought we were in trouble when Big Ugly stole our core. But just like that, problem solved.
The problem is not solved.
Well, I agree. The noise leaves something to be desired.
This is an emergency generator, Crispin.
Well, it was an emergency, boss.
It only runs for a few days, if that.
Oh. Well, do we have another one?
No, which means it still is an emergency.
Well, in that case, first dibs on the recharge station. So, what's the plan, boss?
We need to recover our power core.
Or we could just take the train to Metropole and live in luxury.
First of all, there is no train to Metropole. And second, even with full charges, we can't just walk there. But more importantly, I hate that city. It's in my core logic. I don't know why, but I can't change it.
Okay. In that case, can't you just make us a new power core?
Yes, but I need some kind of strong energy source for that.
And you just make one of those too? I'm just asking.
No, but somewhere around here are the plans for an energy sensor.
That's awfully convenient.
I designed it a long time ago, before I made you. I even found a sodium iodide crystal to use in the sensor, though man alone knows where it's buried now.